Hey there, I'm Fallout, and welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to take an in-depth look at McCree and how to best utilize his abilities in Overwatch. Let's start by taking a look at McCree's neutral game and then move on to his ultimate. McCree is an offense character, and his primary weapon is the Peacekeeper revolver, which can fire off 6 shots before needing to be reloaded. You can fire off 1 shot at a time, and each shot will do a maximum of 70 damage to the body and 140 damage to the head. The Peacekeeper does have a fall-off damage point, which is right here. At this range, you will still do max damage, but the further you move away from your opponent after that point means your shots will begin to do less and less damage. McCree can also fan fire his gun, meaning that he'll empty the entire magazine almost immediately at the cost of accuracy. This is devastating when used up close and can deal up to a maximum of 420 damage, making it capable of killing almost every hero in the game. Even though fanfire isn't super accurate, you shouldn't worry about it too much, because you're still capable of killing over half the roster just by landing half the rounds in the chamber. Keep in mind that when using fanfire, the bonus to precision damage does not apply, even if you do actually hit your enemy in the head. No matter what, each bullet when fanfiring will deal a maximum of 70 damage, so your goal when fanfiring should just be to make sure you hit with as many bullets as possible, ideally aiming at the center of mass on your enemy. Moving on to McCree's abilities, Flashbang gives you the ability to throw a flashbang at your enemies, which will deal up to 25 damage and temporarily stun them for exactly 1 second. During that time, your enemy won't be able to shoot back, move, or use abilities. 1 second doesn't sound like a lot of time, but it gives you a perfect opportunity to fanfire your entire magazine and get a free kill. This is a really effective combo and should be your bread and butter when playing McCree. Flashbang to stun, and then empty the magazine. It's important to note that the range of the flashbang is very short, so get used to the distance and make sure to try and use it in close quarters situations along with fanfire. The flashbang does have the ability to hit multiple enemies if need be, and has a cooldown time of 10 seconds. Next is the combat roll, which lets McCree do a quick dive in any direction you want. In addition to being a great move to get you either closer to your enemies or out of dangerous situations faster, using the combat roll will instantly reload your Peacekeeper. Using this, you can fanfire your gun, combat roll for a quick reload, and then fanfire again, giving you the potential to put heavy damage on enemy tanks if they get too close. The combat roll has a cooldown time of 8 seconds. Using the combat roll and the flashbang together is really effective. If an enemy is relatively close to you, you can combat roll up to them, flashbang, and fanfire for the kill. If they're already very close to you, you can lead off with the flashbang, fanfire for the kill, then combat roll right away for the instant reload in case there are more enemies right nearby. This makes McCree incredibly deadly in close quarters and 1v1 situations. McCree's ultimate is Deadeye, and it's kind of a high-risk, high-reward ability. Once activated, your HUD will slowly start targeting all enemies currently in your line of sight, represented by a small circle. You'll be in this trance for a maximum of 6 seconds or until you either cancel the ultimate or pull the trigger to fire. If you wait long enough, you'll see red skulls appear over your enemies, meaning that if you pull the trigger right then and there, you'll shoot them for a guaranteed kill. The time it takes for a red skull to appear on an enemy depends on how much health that enemy has. Enemies with more health take longer to target, while enemies with less health are targeted very quickly. While Deadeye does have a range limit, which is right here, the maps are designed in such a way that it's very unlikely it'll be something you'll ever have to worry about when playing McCree. Pulling the trigger on Deadeye before your enemies are fully targeted means that you'll still shoot them, but for a lot less damage, depending on how quickly you pull the trigger. If you die when using Deadeye, or you decide to cancel it at any time, your ultimate will be reset back to being 50% charged. Your best bet is to use Deadeye from safe locations where your enemy might not notice you right away, or in combination with other heroes' abilities like from behind Reinhardt's barrier, or with Zarya's Graviton Surge. At the end of the day, McCree is a great offensive character who fights best in close quarters and has the ability to challenge and beat other heroes who also fight up close, like Reaper, Tracer, and Winston. Make sure to be careful of other players who excel when fighting at long ranges like Widowmaker, Hanzo, and Bastion. Alright everybody, that's it for this guide. If you liked it, please do me a solid and subscribe to my channel because I'm always working on more content. Feel free to follow me on Twitch and Twitter if you ever want to play or chat. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you next time.